The late great trainer Customato gave the young Mike Tyson this quote. He said, "What's the difference between a brave man and a coward?" Mike said, "I don't know." Customato replies, "There is no difference. Both men feel fear. Both men are afraid. The difference between the brave man and the coward is what the brave man is willing to do that the coward will not." It's probably, he's arguably, Mike Tyson, one of the most sensational boxers of all time, period. Any weight class, one of the most sensational. You won't find really too many men at all, boxers, who have had that many first round knockouts. And when they asked Tyson and some of his trainings, because there was a lot of footage on Mike giving you the secret sauce, he said that he was afraid because he was a kid that grew up with asthma. So his mentality was that if he doesn't get this guy out of there quickly, he's not going to have enough physicality to handle the guy. A very good fear to have. Look what he did with that fear. Look what he did with it. The fight or flight response was trained for fight. Is coming from the adrenal glands. Both sensations are coming from what? Adrenaline. A certain amount of combat sports, I'm sure, would come with adrenaline anyway. But the transmutation and the channeling of that adrenaline was what made Mike so great. And you noticed later in his career, as he became less and less afraid, his record wasn't the same. The attack style wasn't the same. The dogged technique of fighting wasn't the same. He was like Jet Li in Unleashed. He fought you with the dog style. Like a pit bull, that's been chained up for years in the backyard, fed nothing but hot sauce and neck bones. And he's just raging off of the chain. The moment you let the chain go, look out, he's all over you. That's how Tyson fought. He fought like that, where he could knock you out with anything he hit you with. And he was always ready to hit you with a lot of them. When you look at a lot of Tyson's early fights, the man didn't even get a chance to finish a lot of his combinations before the guy was down unconscious. In many instances, a man being much bigger than him. But it was the technique, it was the discipline that Cuss showed Mike. And that discipline was what the inner voice was that was needed. Customato was an excellent trainer. That left hook that Tyson was catching people with, that leaping left, that wasn't the first time that leaping left came around either. Check out Floyd Patterson, another world-class champion that Customato trained. He was also great. The great Floyd Patterson. But when you slice this up about Iron Mike, it's a success story. Look at everything he's been through, and he's still here. Not just merely existing. Nah, man. Mike is still doing stuff. Tyson got a whole cartoon series. And it's really him doing the lines and everything. He did something on Broadway. He's done documentaries for any and everybody. Look at what he came up from. Look at what he went through. Look at what he was experiencing in his career. And now it's like, even after all of the boxing is over, Mike Tyson is still relevant. He's still relevant. You ever heard that story, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, that was Mike. Coming out of Brooklyn, that was Mike. Everything that he went through that he both told about and didn't tell about, that was Mike. He made it through all of that. Through tens of millions of dollars. He made it through all of that. Going through what he went through in litigation with Don King, he went through that. Going through the idea that your money ain't what you need it to be, but you still got to fight even though you're getting older. He been through that. Getting caught up in the party life to try to numb a lot of what was wrong on the business end. He went through that. Being out of control, going from not even $100 in your pocket to tens of millions of dollars in your account in the span of 24 hours, and you expect that man not to buy a Tiger and a fleet of Ferraris? Tyson went through that. So while on a historical stage, I tend to favor Ali because he's really the first of the great boxers that showed you the power of promotion. I mean, anything Ali touched was promoted. Even Islam, which was a black separatist group. But even they found themselves getting more shine due to Mike Tyson. And after a while, you know what I mean? Yeah, he had to big up a lot of fighters that was under him that, in my personal opinion, he probably had to lose to, you know, and going to great lengths to promote it. Like, look, you ain't never bit none of the ears of none of these other guys. You ain't never told these other guys that, you know, you wanted to do such and such that I won't repeat, following all praise to Allah. I'm not going to repeat a lot of the stuff he said, but in hindsight, when Tyson was interviewed on these things, he was saying, look, man, I got to sell a fight. And it wasn't even Mike that who had the bulk of the promo responsibility. He just took it upon himself, him being Mike. And he probably had to do it to get the extra viewers and money. When you need money, you need money. But what was the other guy going to do? Lennox Lewis was not Mike Tyson. Even after Mike Tyson lost to Lennox Lewis, Lennox Lewis still wasn't Mike Tyson. It still didn't put Lennox Lewis on an equal plane with Mike Tyson in terms of a historical world-class heavyweight champion. It still didn't do that. Even after both losses to Evander, it didn't put Holyfield up there on the level of Tyson, because Tyson did stuff early on that cannot be erased. So what's the big lesson in the story of Mike Tyson? Every moment of discipline counts. Stay hungry, stay thirsty, continue to train, continue to get better. If you're doing something that you love to do, become obsessed with it. Fully engraft, fully subscribe, fully indoctrinate yourself to whatever your particular path and goal choice is. Because you never know. You might just be a dynamite kid and nobody lit the fuse.